Yeah.
Anish, it's there's traffic, it seems, so he's driving late, so he told he'll reach and come
Right.
to the session.
No issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just first share my screen, guys. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Anish, yeah. Anish, are there enough desktops in the lab in Texas?
Yeah, we have the
If you
desktop
know,
over there.
because yeah, since my VMware Fusion is not working properly, so you asked me to
Yes.
access the
Yes.
systems remotely, right?
Yes.
So
So we so that's the same thing I told you, that we have desktops over
yeah.
there, so you can access that. Okay,
Okay.
through remote desktop. So you can use any kind of you can use TeamViewer or any kind of application.
Yeah, I'll use TeamViewer. So me, I think Avadut or somebody, they also required a remote
I
access.
required.
Okay.
Sudhir?
Yeah, I required completion.
Okay. So guys,
Okay.
you all of you decide one your time limit. Okay. So you need to decide your timetable. Who is going to access
Okay.
this desktop on which time?
Okay.
Okay, and whenever you create a virtual machine over there in that desktop, okay. So what you need to do, you need to create a folder over there, and into the particular folder you need to store all your virtual files and your name. You need to give the folder your
Okay.
name.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so no one can remove that folder.
Okay. So what, Anish, what exactly do you mean by time? So can't be accessed during the session?
During a session you can use that, but suppose if you are accessing right now, okay. Suppose if you are accessing between 2 to 4, right? So no one can access that same system between that time.
Okay.
Whom should
Okay.
we inform that, Anish?
Sorry.
Whom should we inform the timing what we require?
No, no, no. That you have to discuss, because there are four people. I think, I guess there are four
Okay,
people who require to access the lab. Okay, so you
sure,
decide your time, whatever, what time you are accessing your lab. So please inform each and everyone.
sure.
Okay,
Okay.
so no one trying to access at that particular time.
Okay,
Right.
sure, Anish.
Yeah.
And Anish, one more thing about GNS3, about the installation of GNS3. Shall I ask you now or later?
What happened? What issue?
So once I installed GNS3, it said it needs either VMware or VirtualBox. So is it
No,
okay if I run it in
no,
VirtualBox?
no, no. I think you download the VM file, GNS3 VM.
Oh, okay.
Download the
So
application.
Just download the
okay.
GNS3. That's it for Windows. You're using Windows, right?
Yes, yes, Anish.
So you need to download it for the Windows.
Okay. Okay, Anish. Yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
And do it parallelly.
Yes. Okay, now let's just start. Are you able to see my screen, guys?
Yes, Anish.
Good.
Yeah, Anish.
Okay, so first thing we are going to do creating zones. We are first going to do creating zones. Okay, so right now what we are going to see, today we are going to say network settings of the firewall. Today we are going to do the network settings of the firewall. So there are 5 points that we are going to do today: creating zones, configuring interfaces, using the deployment options, then creating a virtual router, and adding data plan default route. So these 4 things we are going to do, and then if we have time, then we can do this thing also. We can do the security policy and net impact. That is depend upon the how much time left we have. Okay. So first we are going to say this. First thing what we are going to do, we are going to creating zones. So this is the diagram here. So you can see here we have the three interface 1/1, 1/2, and 1/3. These three we use for that three are our data plan, and this management, that is our management plane, right? Right.
Yes,
Yes.
Anish.
Okay. Now let me just connect the pen here. Okay. Now here this one 1/1, 1/2, and 1/3. This three. Okay. So 1/1, that is our that is connected to our router. So that we can call this as outside network in outside
Yeah,
zone, right?
excellent. Mhm.
Okay, so 1/1 it is included into outside zone. Then 1/2 it is connected to our internal network, that is PC, internal local LAN. So it is connected to inside zone. And 1/3, that is our DMZ. So that 1/ is connected to DMZ. Okay, so we are going to create 3 zones: inside, outside, and DMZ. Okay, so first let's just do this. Okay, so let me just power on this first. Yes, this is the device. Okay, so access your firewall in your browser.
Anish, do we require to log in every time we have to access the firewall?
No, I haven't logged in here. If you notice here,
Okay. Okay.
we just need to power on. That's it.
Okay.
Provide the credentials here. Okay, so this is our Palo device. So we need to right now, first thing what we are going to do, we are going to create zones. So go to the network here, click on network here, and under the network you can see there are so many options here. So we are going to first create zones. So click on zones here. Okay, so over here you can see there are no zones available right now. Okay, so here we need to add a zones here. Here we need to add zones. Okay, so how to add this? So you can see here there is no option called add on the left hand side. So click add here. Okay, now we need to first name. So first we are going to add inside. We are going to create inside zone. So name this as inside. Now here we can see we have type. So expand this, and here you can see we have tap, virtual wire, layer 2 and layer 3. So we are going to configure in this our lab session, we are going to configure each and every interface as a layer 3. We are going to add configure each and every interface as layer 3 as well as zones also, as well as all the zones. So we select here layer 3. Now here we have the interfaces. So suppose if you want to add any kind of interface into this inside zone, so you can directly add it from here. You just need to click here and you can directly add it from here. Okay, so right now we have never configured the right now we haven't configured the interfaces. So we are not doing this right now. We are going to do this later on. Okay, and you can also put any kind of include rules, because you can also do any kind of exclude list. Okay, so right now just what we are going to do, we are going to just create a zone called inside and select the type as layer 3. That's it. And click OK. So we create here zone called inside. Yes. Yes.
In that window, you talked about interface. What is that interface?
This one.
Uh, okay, what does it do? Like, is it the port what is connected, or which interface is
We'll
that?
have I will show you. Just be here. Be here.
Okay. Okay, Anish. Yeah.
We have the interface 1/1, 1/2, 1/3, right?
Uh-huh.
That interface.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can
And the
include that
internal and external?
Yeah, we are right now creating it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have create one zone called inside. So same like we need to create two more, one for outside and one for DMZ. One for outside and one for DMZ. Okay, so again click on add. Name this as outside. Then select the type layer which is already selected. Click. Okay, so this kind of things happen. So it says the already object already added. So no need to do anything. So just cancel it and refresh the page. From here you can refresh and you can see outside is there. Then we are going to add one more. That is third one. Which one?
DMZ.
Yes,
DMZ.
TMC. And we are using this as a layer 3 also. So click Okay, so we added three zones here: inside, outside, and TMC. Okay, so understood how to create zones, guys, in the
Yes,
Palo Alto
Anish.
firewall. Everyone,
Yes, Anish.
Yes, sir.
good.
Anish, I just reached Texas.
Okay.
I'm in the lab. Are you recording this session? Because
Yes,
I think
yes,
I
yes,
missed.
yes, yes, yes. I'm recording it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so now next thing, what we are going to do, we are going to create virtual router. We are going to create virtual router here. So we have the under the network, we have the option called virtual routers. This one. So click here on virtual routers. Wait here. The page is got refreshed, so you can see here. Sign refreshing. Okay, so you can see here
The
there is
default
by
router.
default virtual router. And what is the name?
Default.
Default. Okay, so if you want to use this, so we can also use the default one also. And if you don't want to use that, we want to create one new one. So we can also do this thing. So what we are going to do, we are going to remove this default one and we are going to create one new virtual router. So how to remove this? So select the router default and click
Delete.
on delete. Say yes. So here we can see here we remove the default one and we need to add one more virtual router. So click on add here and we are going to assign the name for the virtual router. So that is VR-1. So this is my virtual router name VR-1. So here you can see here in this virtual router. So you can see there are so many options available here. The routing protocols, you can configure it over here. Static routes, distribution profile, RIP, OSP, OSP version 2, BGP, multicast. So it is same as the physical router, the Cisco physical virtual router. You can do all these things virtually here in this Palo Alto device, the virtual router. And whatever routes you decide, whatever routing protocol you apply, that will apply only to this virtual router, not the whole device. Remember this, guys. Whatever routing protocol you applied here, that will apply to only this virtual routers, and how the number of interfaces which are connected to this virtual router, that is applied to that number of interfaces only. Getting it,
Okay.
guys?
Yes, Anish.
Good. Okay, so we added this router here. Okay, now we are going to add the interfaces here. Okay, first we need to configure the interfaces. Okay, so just add the router here, name called as VR-1. Click OK here. Now you can see here we added the virtual router VR-1. Okay, now next step what we are going to do next is we are going to create the interfaces. Okay, so we are going to configure the interfaces now. So under the network, click on interfaces here, and under the interfaces you can see there are so many options: interface, Ethernet, VLAN, loopback, and tunnel. Okay, so these are the options available in interfaces. Now you can see here there are total 9 interfaces are there, right? And how out of this 9, how many we use?
Three.
Five.
Okay.
Nine.
Now,
Five
in this
interface.
Palo Alto
Oh,
device,
total five.
in the Palo Alto
Yeah.
device, we have 5 interfaces, right?
5 interface. Yeah.
One for management, right? One for
Yeah.
our outside network, one for inside, one for
Inside.
DMZ, and the fourth one for others. So
Yes.
here in this Palo device, in this virtual machine, we are using only this one, S4. Let me just change the color first. Okay, so this 1/1 is will use for our outside. Is used for our outside network. This one. Let me show the diagram here. This one. This is our outside 1/1, 1/2 for inside, and 1/3 for
Inside.
TMC. Okay, so this here, this 1/1 outside, 1/2 inside,
Inside.
Inside
and 1/3 for
TMC.
TMC. And the fourth one we use for others.
Others.
Yeah. So we are going to use 1, 2, 3, and 4 interfaces in this Palo device. Okay, so this kind of things available in this here in virtual router, in virtual our firewall. Okay, so now okay, so first we are going to configure each and every interface. So we are going to assign the IP addresses for each and every interfaces. So for Ethernet 1/1 we are going to assign outside IP address. For Ethernet 1/2 we are going to assign inside. 1/3 we are going to assign TMC. Okay, so in this diagram we are going to assign this IP addresses. So management IP address we already assigned. Okay, so I already told you to find out 2 free IP addresses in your network, right? Hello.
yes, Anish.
Okay,
Yes,
so
Anish, yeah.
one you assign to
Yes.
management, right? So another one you
Yeah.
have to assign to the
One-
1/1. Okay. Then the 1/2 we are going to assign 10.1.1.0. That is this is the IP address. Okay, we are going to assign the network address. 1/1.1.250, that is the IP address, and the subnet is 10.1.1.0. And the 1/3 we are going to assign 10.2.2.250. Okay, so we are going to assign this kind of interfaces. So just click on this interface, the hyperlink here, to assign the IP addresses. Now here you can see here the interface name is there. Now the interface type. So here we are going to use all the interface type as layer 3.
Layer
So
3.
expand here and click here as layer 3. Now add a comment here if you want to. So 1/1 we are going to use for which zone? Which IP address we are going to assign? Outside.
Outside.
Right. So add a comment as a outside. Then here we need to assign this interface 1/1 to the virtual router. So we already created one virtual router. And what is the name of the virtual router? Which virtual router we created?
Default.
VR1.
Default.
VR1. We created VR1.
Yeah, one.
Yes. So we are going to assign this 1/1 interface to this virtual router. So expand this and select the virtual router VR1. And suppose if you want to create one more new router, so you can directly create from here. You can directly create from here also. So select the virtual router. Now here we need to select the security zones. So how many zones we created? How many zones we created?
3.
3.
3. So we can see here 3 zones. So which zone we are going to select here for 1/1?
Outside.
Outside.
Outside. Right. Outside. And click on IP version 4. Then here we are going to assign the IP address to this 1/1 interface. So which IP address we are going to assign here? The
46.
3 IP address of our physical network, of our real network. We find out 2 IP addresses, 2 free IP addresses. One we assign to the management interface, and second one we are going to assign to the 1/1 for outside network. So how to assign here? Click add here. Now assign the interface which whatever IP address you have free in your network, so that IP address you have to assign here. 192.168.1.47 and
47,
/24.
24.
That's it. Okay, so we assign the IP addresses. Now if you want to use any kind of IP version 6 address, you can also assign the IP version 6 address from here if you are using it. Okay, and it has some advanced options, like you can link speed, you can use the link speed, you can use the duplex speed, you can use the link stack. So whatever configuration you need to do, you can do from here. Okay, so your most important thing is what? The configuration and the IP version 4. Right now we are going to use IP version 4 only. I don't have any IP version 6 IP address. So just check all the settings whether it is right or not. So interface 1/1, there is layer 3 and outside connected to the virtual router 1 and security zone outside. Now that's fine. Now click OK.
Anish,
Yes.
uh, we can't we are not supposed to change the interface name.
It's already there. By default is there. You can see here.
Okay, so we can't change it, right?
Yes. And that's why it's give you the comment here. You can add your own comment.
Okay. No problem. Thanks.
Yeah. Now you can see we cannot see any IP address here, but we just configure. So just refresh the page. This is the option here. Now you can see the IP address, and it is connected to the virtual router 1. Okay, the comment you can see here outside. The security zone is selected outside. Now for Ethernet 1 and 1/2, so we are also using the interface type as layer 3. Then 1/2, which zone we are going to use for 1/2?
Inside.
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 We are going to add a comment inside, and also connected to the virtual router 1 only. So we are going to connect all these three interfaces, 1/1, 1/2, and 1/3, with a one single router that is called virtual VR1.
Are there like cases where multiple virtual routers are needed?
Yeah, you can also do that if you want to. Like suppose in one network, you can in large network you can add more than one routers. Like so you are using one more than one router. So the same thing, but all these things are virtual. That is the only difference.
So is there like a restriction on the number of devices which can be connected to a single virtual router?
That is depend upon the all auto device, which kind of device we are using, what is the model number.
Okay. So where can we see that?
Okay, you can find this thing in the documentation of that particular device.
Okay.
Okay. Now here select virtual router 1 and security zone. So which security zone we need to select here? For 1/2.
Inside.
Right, inside. Then here we are going to assign the IP address. So which IP address we are going to assign here for 1/2?
10.1.1.250.
1.1.250.
Right. And the subnet mask, what is the CIDR notation? 34, right?
/24. Yeah, /24.
Right. So here we are going to assign 10.1.1.250/24. Okay. Now click, check the enter settings again. This is fine. Click OK. That's that. Now 1/3. So 1/3 we are going to assign here the interface type, that is layer 3. Then it is for DMZ, a virtual router, that is VR1, security zone inside, right?
DMZ.
The DMZ. And
DMZ.
then IP address. So which IP address we are going to assign here? 10.2.2.250/24. Okay, now who are using the 10 class A network right now in a physical device? So here they need to use the class C.
Okay.
Okay, otherwise your whole network goes down.
Okay.
Now click OK. Now verify all these things that Ethernet 1/1 and all this interface is there. Then IP addresses are there. We assign the virtual router PR1 that is connected to each security zone. You can see, and we can see the comment here. Okay, but you can see here that right now the link status is not green. Why so? Everything is fine. All the
And it's not completely.
its link status we cannot see here the green. Why?
You need to turn that on, like turn it off.
We need
That's just
to.
whatever we do. Yeah.
Hello, Anish.
Yes.
A lot of disturbance again.
Guys, can you please mute your mics? Okay. Now tell me, any one of you, we configure all the IP addresses, all the things perfectly, but why this is not done? Why we can see here there's 3 interfaces, not green.
Maybe
Because we
because
haven't done commit.
We
or
cannot.
we should like send packets.
No. For this has to be green. Its link has to be activated.
Okay, only then it send the packets, right? We are not defined the management interface.
Here no require the management interface. We already done that thing. We already
Okay.
configure it. If we are using this firewall,
We need to
using management interface.
Yeah, okay.
turn it on.
We need to do commit.
Yes. We need to click on commit. We need to first apply
Yeah.
this thing. Then and then only the link status going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you need to click on commit. Now you write this thing into your Palo device. Okay, still it is not implementing. So to implement this thing, you need to click on commit. So click on commit. Click OK. Now you can close this from here also. Okay, and you can check the status from here also, guys. Can you see the task here? So click here, and you can see the status.
Anish, where Anish exactly? I
Yes,
didn't see
here,
the task.
here. Can you see
Bottom
my
right.
cursor? Let me just.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, down. Okay,
This one.
okay.
This is. So you need to click on task, so you can see the configuration. Like a task manager available in the Windows operating system.
Okay.
Same thing. Now still, we commit this thing, but still, you cannot see the link status as green. So how to apply this? We need to refresh the page. So we need to click here on refresh. Now, can you see? Can you see the link
Yeah.
status, guys?
Yes,
Yes.
Anish.
Now it's activated.
Yes.
You can see now it's green, turning green.
So, Anish, can we expect like any other colors to know that we are having a problems? Like if there is a red or something, does it mean the link is having a problem?
No, right now in this diagram we can see only the green that is activated.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and I know. I'm like asking in general.
No,
So
no, no,
if you
no.
get a red, is it supposed to be problematic?
Right now, I don't think so. This kind of things I haven't seen this in Palo Alto, not even in Checkpoint.
Oh, okay.
But that's a good suggestion. We can send this suggestion to the Palo Alto people,
Mhm.
right? Come on, guys, tell me. Okay, fine. So we what we have done till now, we create zones, right? Then we create one virtual router. Then we configure the interfaces, okay? And we add all these interfaces in virtual router 1. Okay. So understood up to this part, everyone?
Yes, Anish.
Yes, Anish.
Okay, good. Now, next thing is we are going to assign the data plan default route. Now we already assigned the default route, the default IP address, the gateway IP address to the management interface. Now we need to assign the default IP route for this data plan interfaces, especially for this 1/1. Okay, so how to assign default route? So you need to go to the virtual router. So click on virtual router here. And today I'm going to give you some assignment.
Okay.
Okay, now here you can see here that is a virtual router 1, and in virtual router 1 we have three interfaces, 1/1, 1/2 and 1/3. So all these three interfaces are connected to virtual router 1. Now in this you can see there's an option called more runtime steps. So click here, and this is the routing table. You can see here, this is the routing. Now here you can see, let me just enable hide this first two interface is connected to 1/2. So this is the subnet address, this one, and this is the IP address associated with the interface 1/2. Okay. Then we have the another one, that is this 2.2.0 and 2.250. That is for interfaces, the IP address and the network address for 1/3. And the 1/1 we have the network address and the IP address. This one. Now you can see here that what is the next hop here. That is 10.1.1.250. Okay, so here, okay, let me just explain you this thing easily. Now, where is this? Just a minute. This one. This is. Okay, now here. So this is my interface 1/1. So 1/1 has the IP address of 192.168.1.47, right? Where
Yes.
we write just assigned. And what is the default gateway for this IP address? This IP address belongs to my physical network, right? From my physical network, we find out the full IP address, and that IP address we apply to this 1/1 IP address. So we need to give this interface is connected to the router. So we need to give the router IP address to having to connect it to the ISP, to the internet. So in by default, you can see here the next hop is 0.0.0. Yeah, in this Palo device, 0.0.0.0/0. But it has to be like this one, 192.168.1.1.
1.
It has to be like this way. Then and then only we are able to access internet, because this is our physical machine gateway IP address. So instead of 0.0.0 next hop, it has to be like this one, 192.168.1.1. So here we are going to assign the static route. Here we are going to assign for this virtual router for static route. So how to assign this? So close this. Now click on this VR1. Now click on static routes here. Now under the static route, here we need to assign the static route for this. So click add here. Okay. Now name here. So we can name this as a default. And destination. So what is our destination? Any idea? Using this router, what kind of sites you are going to access? Any idea? What should be the destination IP address?
Palo
outside.
Alto's IP address.
No, I'm asking you destination.
Google.
Now see.
Interface.
Okay, simple. This is my user, right?
Google.
Wait. Now listen here. This is my user, right? Okay. Once we allow the internet access to this user, okay. So we don't restrict that user. So, but this user can access so many sites. he can access so many IP addresses. He can access google.com, he can access any kind of social network sites, right? Anything. Right? We cannot know each and every website's IP addresses. So here we are going to choose the default IP address, that is 0.0.0.0 and /0. So it has, suppose we choose this kind of things, so this will connect to each and every IP addresses. It is connected to each and every IP addresses and any subnet. Getting it, guys? The destination here.
Yes, Anish.
Maybe put
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Now next is interface. So which interface we are going to see here? Which interface we are going to assign the default gateway?
Outside 1.1/1.
Sorry.
Outside one,
Yeah. So which interface we need to select here?
1/1.
1/1. Right. Here we need to select 1/1 because only the 1/1 having the public IP address. That means the free IP address, right? The remaining two have the this IP addresses. That is my internal one. It has the it is connected to the router, right? Now here we need to assign the IP address, next hop IP address. So you need to assign here your physical machine default gateway IP address. So in my network, that my machine's physical machine default gateway IP address is 192.168.1.1. You have to assign yours. Understood this?
Yes, Anish.
Everyone?
If you want to block some,
Yeah.
It won't
if you
block
want to block a
anything.
particular website,
No, right now it won't blank anything. Right now we are just configuring the static route. That's it.
okay.
Now we can block these things using by creating a rules. Okay, so right now we are not blocking anything. We are giving the static route. We are assigning right now the default gateway, the default route to our data plan.
Okay.
Okay, now click OK here. Now click again OK. Oh my God. So guys, now you understood this thing that to configure the Palo Alto device, you need to know about the routing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I told you in the Friday the routing is important to configure this device. Okay, now let's check the root status. So again click on more runtime stats. What you can see here is not change. It has to be 192.168.1.1. The next hop should be. But we cannot see here in any of that as routing table. This is a routing table for this router 1. This is the routing table for this router 1, guys. Okay, so why it's not implement?
Commit.
The commit
Right.
button.
Commit.
Yes. We need to first commit this thing. Okay. Now close this thing. Now check the status from task. Just click
Tasks.
here. So it's done. Now check the routing table. Now you can see here the destination this and the next hop is this. Got it? Understood this thing? Hello?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
now
Anish.
what is your assignment? Okay, now you can see here there are so many, you can see the flags and there are alphabets are there, one S, one C, one H. So you need to find out what is the meaning of this alphabets. What is written over here. You need to find out this thing. That is the assignment, guys. What is the meaning of this one hash, one C, one H? Okay, so if you need to take a snap, please take a snap, guys. That is the assignment. Complete your assignment and mail me up, everyone. Done,
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone? Hello,
Yes,
guys.
Anish.
Okay, good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, now so that okay. So what you have done till now? Please summarize. Anyone?
Can I, Anish?
Yeah, go ahead. Anyone?
So we start. So do you want me? So basically, we started the configuration of the Palo Alto device.
Right.
So we logged in. We went to network. Then first we configured the zones. So network zones, added new zones like inside, outside, DMZ, and we chose the type as layer 3 for all the three zones. Then again we came back, we went to virtual routers. There we added one virtual router. And again now we went to interfaces. So there we had options of 9, but we need only 4. So we configured the 3 interfaces for inside, outside, and DMZ with 1-1, 1-2, and 1-3. 1-1 for outside. So there we used type as layer 3. We chose virtual router VR1 and IPv4 for that. We assigned the IP address. We came back again. We went to 1-2, did the same thing for 1-2, assigned the other IP address which we had. For example, here we used class A IP address. Again, we went back, did the same thing for 1-3. After that, we clicked commit just to change the link state of the routers. But sorry, Ethernets. So again, now since the router doesn't know since we didn't configure any routing algorithms or anything, so we were going with static routes. So we came to VR1 and we looked into runtime stats to see whether there are any static routes done, but there were no any. So we came back and we clicked on VR1 and we added static routes. There we used destination for VR1. We used destination as for Ethernet 1. Initially we configured for Ethernet 1-1. There we used destination as 0.0.0.0 since it is connecting to ISP, so there may be so many IP addresses which we need to connect. So we used 0.0.0.0/0 for destination. And similarly yeah, that's it. So after that we hit commit and we saw the changes in that.
Right. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so now we have time. Fine. Okay, so guys, I received one request from the user called Bob. Now this is the request. What he's saying? Can anyone please read out lively?
Please, 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 can I go out to the internet? Sincerely, Bob.
So I received this request. Okay, so my user, this is my user. So I gave him a name, Bob. The user is on my in the local data connector. So he's using the PC1. So he's sending me a request that can I go to the internet? Right now he won't. This user is not able to access. Bob is not able to access internet. Okay. So our next step is what? What we are going to do right now. The next step is we are going to setting up permissions between zones to allow internet access, to allow internet resources to this user called Bob. Okay. So we are going to see this thing right now. Okay. So the by default in Palo Alto device, everything is blocked. Yes.
Anish, don't we need to configure 1-2 and 1-3?
1 dash.
Ethernet 1-2 and 1-3.
We already configured it, guys.
Means I'm talking about the next hop thing.
No, we are for 1/2 and 1/3. You can see here This all these three interfaces are connected with virtual router 1, right? And only the
Okay.
Ethernet 1 having the outside IP address. Right. So
Okay.
only Ethernet 1 is able to connect to the outer world, not the 1/2 1/3, right? So we need to give default gateway to this interface, not this one. That is for
Okay.
my internal network, TMZ and local LAN.
So for one time, can you click on the more runtime stats?
Yes. You can see here the destination would be anything. And what is the next hop? This IP address.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So whatever destination you have, that is directly connected with this IP address. And this IP address is connected to my Ethernet 1, to my physical router. So it will directly move to it will move to the router. The request will move to the router, and router will do the things. Find out
Okay.
the whatever request what service find by the user. So router will find out over the internet.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the things. Now I receive one mail, guys. We need to do something for this, right?
Yeah. So we need to connect the zones
Okay.
in
He is
order
saying please,
to.
please, please 3 times. So we need to do something for him to allow internet to this Bob. Okay. So let's just do it. Okay, so before we start doing this thing, let me just brief about all these things. Okay, now next topic is about setting up permissions between zones. So guys, remember one thing, in the Palo Alto device, when we create any kind of security policy, so we are going to create security policy between zones. We are going to create security policies between zones. So how many zones we have in in our lab environment?
3
Three. And which are they?
inside, outside, and DMZ.
outside and DMZ.
So whatever policy we are going to create, whatever permission we are giving to this user, or so that is depend upon the zones that we are going to allow this between zones, not for the particular user, or not for the particular IP address, not for the particular subnet. Okay, so
Yeah.
remember this thing. In Palo Alto, you create a policy between zones. Okay, now let me just all over the pan here. Now this is the pan. Now so this is my one zone, right? Which zone this is? Hello.
Inside.
Inside.
Okay. And which zone this is?
Outside.
Out.
Outside.
Okay. So if you want
Outside.
to allow, this is my user called Bob. Here my user, that is Bob. Okay. So if you want to allow internet services to this Bob user, so way to this packet has to go through this 1/1 interface, right?
Inside. Yes.
Right. So in check in Palo Alto, the by default the traffic between two different zones, the traffic between two different zones, that is not allowed. It says no, not allowed. Stop here. Traffic between two different zones, that is not allowed by default in Palo Alto device. But traffic between in the same zone, that is allowed. Traffic in same zone, that is allowed. Are you getting my point, guys?
Yes, Anish.
Suppose in this LAN network, if you have two or one more device here, okay, so this user can also communicate with the PVC1, the Bob user. Suppose we have one user called Luis here. So Luis is able to communicate with the user Bob, but the Luis is not able to access internet because the internet is present on different zone. Right. So traffic is allowed in this Palo Alto device in the same zone, that is allowed, and but two different zones, that is not allowed. That is by default blocked. So remember this thing. So there are two words, intrazone and interzone. Intrazone and interzone. Okay. Now, so we are going to create one policy here to allow internet to the Bob. Okay, so this Bob is present in which zone?
Inside.
Inside. Right. So this is my
Anish, I have one question. Can I ask?
Okay, so the request came to here, right? Yeah. Request came from here 1/2. Okay, and it has to go to which interface? 1/1. So 1/1 interface in which zone?
Outside.
Outside. Okay, so we need to create a policy from inside to outside to allow internet services to work. We need to create one policy between inside. Inside becomes our source and outside become our destination. Understood this concept first, guys?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Because I'm going to ask you all these things, guys.
Yes, Anish.
Good. So we are going to create a rule policy between zones. Now we are not using the IP address of this box, or we are not using the IP address for the router or any of the interfaces. We are using the zones to create a policy into the Palo Alto device. So remember this thing, guys. Now let's just do it. So let me just minimize this thing. Okay. So to create a policy, you have to go to the policy here. So you can see here from under the policy to there are so many options, there are so many policies available: security policy, net policy, QoS. So we are going to use first right now configuring security policy. Okay, so under the security policy you can see here there are by default two policies are there. By default there are two policies are there. Okay, so again, so intra-zone. What is the action here for intra-zone? First policy,
Whichever is inside that, whichever is
Within
inside
the
one zone, allow it.
like intra-zone, guys, the same zone. Intra-zone
same
means
zone.
same zone. So that is, you can see action is what? Allowed.
Allow.
Allowed.
But interzone, you can see interzone, that is blocked. You can see here that is blocked by default. Okay, so intrazone means what? In the same zone, and interzone means or two different zones. Interzone means
Yes.
two different zones. So remember this word, guys. This is I know there's some confusing words are there, but you need to remember this thing. If you want to allow traffic between two zones, two different zones, so you have to select interzone. And if you want to allow traffic in the same zone, you have to select interzone. Okay, so here we are going to create policy here. So we are going to add a policy here. Okay, so now I have one more question again. Now, so we have the inside, right? Inside. Okay, and we are going to create a policy to outside. Out. Okay, now we need to permit this. We need to allow this. Permit. Okay, my handwriting is not good. So you can understand this thing. Now, so we can also do something. If we can put here if if the source IP, if the source IP, if the source IP that is from 10.1.1.10/24 subnet. If the source IP from only this subnet, that we need to allow. So we can also do this thing. We can also do this thing. If the source IP is 10.1.1.0 subnet, and also we can put one more if we want to permit only the traffic that is to access the web. So which port number we use to access web?
80 and 443.
Okay, 80. So TCP port number 80. And for SSL, TCP port number 443. This is the HTTP and this is HTTPS. And the last one, that is DNS. We want to allow only these three services. Web TCP port number 80, SSL TCP port number 443, and DNS, domain name distribution. So only this service we need to allow. So we are going to do this thing. We are going to create a policy between two zones, inside to outside, and we are going to allow this thing if the source IP is 10.1.1.0 subnet, and we are going to allow the web, SSL, and DNS services. Understood this first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's just do it. Okay, so here we are going to create a policy. Okay, so how many if we have here? Two if. So source IP is 1.10.1.1.0 subnet. Right, to add a policy here, we need to click on add. Now we need to name here. So guys, remember one thing. So whenever you choose any name to the policy, so the name, whatever name you assign to the policy, so you have to assign the name according to your policy. What kind of policy you are going to create? So that name should define that. Okay, so right now we are going to create policy to allow internet to work. Right. So what should be the name here?
Interzone, Bob? I don't know.
Interzone Bob? Oh my god.
Web access.
Interzone, because it's between two different zones, right? One is for the PC1 and the other one should be the outside zone. So we're trying to connect two different zones.
Right. Now see, before creating a name, you can see here there are so many options here from left to right, right? General, source, user, destination, application, service URL, category, and actions. Okay, so here guys, what you need to do here, always whenever you create a policy into a Palo Alto device, always go from left to right. Always go from left to right. Don't go from right to left. Always need to go to left to right. Okay, so we are going to choose one name here. So we are going to choose the name that is users going to internet.
Internet or users web access, something like
Yeah,
that.
we can say that we are going to use the body here, internet. It is fine. Now rule type. So which rule type we need to select here? Interzone or interzone?
Inter.
First one or second one?
Second one,
Why second one? Why interzone?
because it's between two different zones,
Which are they?
outside and internal.
There is no zone called internal.
Inside and outside.
Yeah, inside and outside. Yeah. Sorry.
So we have to select here interzone. Okay, now click on source here. So select now. Here you can see here we can select here source zone and we can select here source address. So here we need to select the source zone. So click on add here. Wait here. So what is our source zone?
Outside. Oh, sorry, inside.
Inside. Inside, right. So we need to select here inside. We have to select here inside. Okay, now click here. So you can see here the inside zone is selected. Now here you can see by default the any source address is selected between inside zone. So suppose if you have so many zones, like let me show you the diagram again. Suppose in this 1/2, this is my inside zone, right? So right now in the inside zone we have only one subnet, but that might be possible. There are so many subnets into here. In the large organization, there are so many subnets out there for different group of peoples, right? So if you want to allow this service to particular source address, to particular subnet address. So you can also do this thing. So what we need to do first, we are going to add this subnet here. So uncheck the any, click on add. Now you can see here there are so many designs here. So you can select from here also, or otherwise if you want to add any kind of special object called network, like we have only one object right now, network object, that is subnet, that is 10.1.1.0 for our internal network, right?
Yes.
Right. So we are going to create object from here. So you can create object from here also. Can you see this? Let me just a minute, guys. This one. These are objects. So you can also create objects from here, like internal network, external network, any particular group of pool of IP addresses. If you want to create objects, you can directly create objects. But suppose right now if I want to create object for the internal subnet, so what I need to do first, I need to close everything. I need to go to the object. When I need to first create object, then I need to come back, right? So there are lots of work. Right. So the Palo Alto gives us the option to create object from here itself. To create object from here itself. So you can see here there one option called address. So okay, I'm going to create one address here. So click here, address. Now what should I name here?
Outside?
No, we are going to create address. We are going to
So,
create address for our internal
username
man. No.
Bob
Address, guys. I'm going to create address, the subnet. So we are saying that inside,
47?
no, inside 10.1.1.0
Oh, okay.
is my inside subnet, right? So we are going to assign here the name this and the type IP subnet mask, and here we need to enter the subnet mask which we need to allow. That is 10.1.1.0/24 and click OK. So you can see here we added the inside subnet 10.1.1.0. So, and you can see here the inside zone is, you can also see here the address here. Okay, so what we have done now, we select the source from inside zone and the match from inside subnet, that is 1.10.1.1.0. Okay, now next column is for users. So right now we don't have any users right now, so we are going to choose any user, any source user, and any HIP profiles that we are going to see this later on. Okay, now move on to destination. Okay, so what is our destination zone, guys?
It's the outside.
What is our destination zone, guys?
Outside.
Outside, right. So here we need to select outside zone, destination zone.
So like if we had only wanted Bob to access, then in that user profile, I think we should just have Bob, right?
Yes. First we need to create a user. First we need to create user. Okay, so that we are going to see, we have the session for that. Like we can call this as captive portal. We can also allow captive portal. Come on. And what we select here as destination address?
The outside address. 192.168.1.47.
No. That is not my outside address. What is written over here?
1.1.
What is written over here?
Destination address.
Do you know any IP address of any website like google.com, facebook.com?
Oh, so it just be 0.0?
Yeah.
Any?
Yeah, we select here any.
0.0.
Yes. So here we first destination zone we select outside, and the destination address we select here any, because we don't know any IP address. We want to allow each and every IP address which
Yeah.
Google use that Bob wants to access any. Okay. Now next is application. So whatever application you want to allow, that application you have to mention here. Now by default it is any. So if you select any, so this will allow HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, Telnet, each and every services. But we want to allow
Okay.
three services. That is web,
DNS
SSL, and DNS.
and DNS.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to uncheck this any and check here. Okay. Now
Application.
click on add. Now you can see here. Let me just uncheck any. Click add here. Now there are so many lists. A list is going on and on and on and on. So you have the option to find out. So just first remove this. Now first we need to allow which service. We can say HTTP. Okay, so what we need to type here? Okay, let's say
HTTP.
SSL. So we select here SSL, application SSL. That is TCP port number 443, HTTPS. SSL means. Now add one more. So again click on add. Now type here DNS.
DNS.
Select DNS here from the list. Click add. Now in this Palo Alto, okay, for HTTPS there is one special word that is called web browsing. So you need to select the application web browsing. That is HTTP port number 80, TCP port 80. There's three. So we allow three services: SSL, DNS, and web browsing. Okay, then we have the next option called service and URL category. Okay, so
I think we have to select, I think you forgot to select the other two.
which one? Yeah, that's already we added.
SSL.
No, we added these three. You want to select API.
Do we not have
one?
to?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, if you want to remove that, then we need to select, then click on delete.
Yeah.
Do we not have to check the application?
No.
Or once you just have it listed, then it's already by default selected
yes,
like
yes,
this. Okay.
Yes. Okay, now next one is service and URL category. So we are going to see this thing in another session. We have special session for this URL category. Okay, so right now just select as any. Now under the action, so we need to allow this rule, right? So select action here, allow. Okay. Now what is the log setting here? So here you can this is the log setting of this rule. So here I am going to select here log at the session start. Okay, so when the session starts, it will take a log. With the session start, it will take a log. Okay, now, so we create the rule here. Understood this, guys?
Yes.
How to create a policy here. Now, what is our source? So here we are creating a one policy here to allow inside zone from inside zone, and from inside zone the subnet should be 10.1.10, and your outside zone, that is destination, would be outside zone, and the application, that is SSL, DNS, and web browsing. If these three matches source, destination, application, then only we need to allow this. Okay, so click OK to add this rule into a rule base.
Manish,
Yes.
in destination for the any address, if we put 0.0.0.0, what will happen?
Yeah, it will access each and everything if you put 0.0.
Okay, so either way is fine.
Yeah, but why we put 0? If we have option called any.
Okay. Okay, Manish, yeah, I was just checking that one.
Yeah, but there is one option called URL filtering. From there you can block websites, particular URLs.
Okay. Okay, Manish. Yeah. Where does that come?
Sorry.
Where does that come? That comes under URL category.
We have session, guys, for each and everything.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We have session for each and everything. Okay, now
Yeah,
here you can see here. We added a rule here, the one rule. The rule name user going to internet. Okay, the type interzone, then your source, you can see here the source. Okay, so source we select inside, and the address from source should be 10.1.1.0 subnet, and destination from outside to any address, and application we allow DNS, SSL, and web browsing. Okay, and the action is allow. Okay, so we create this rule here into our rule base of the file. So understood everyone this thing?
Yes,
Yes.
Anish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now to implement this rule, into our network, okay. So before that, we also need to allow netting. We also need to allow net rule. We also need to create netting rule. So no one can access from which subnet address this request is going on. Now remember the first session, the introduction to firewall.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in that we have discussed about this two types of net, hide net and static net. If you remember. Remember? Hide net means many to one mapping. Static net means one to one mapping.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we to implement this thing now we just create rule to allow the communication between two different zones and to allow specific services applications. Okay. So we also need to do netting here. Okay. Now we create this rule. To implement this rule, what we need to do first?
Click on NAT.
Click on
NAT
Commit.
no,
right next to the security.
no. We need to first commit.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm so many times I'm asking you, because sometimes what happens, you create a rule, you forget to commit. This thing also happens.
I'm gonna write on my sticky note like commit and put it on the monitor so that I don't forget.
Okay, you can remember this thing when you do this labs. Okay, you can easily remember this thing. If you done any kind of changes into your Palo Alto, you need to implement this thing. You have to click on commit. Remember this. Okay, now about the netting. Okay, so we are going to see tomorrow. Okay, so it's a big topic. So we are going to discuss about the netting tomorrow, not today. Okay.